In this savage showdown, we will have our first prehistoric combatant, the mighty Carnotaurus. It will be facing off against the massive white rhinoceros in order to see who is king of horns, who is bigger, stronger, faster, stealthier, and has better weapons. Who will emerge victorious? Let's find out. So who is bigger? White rhinos can grow up to 13 feet long, 7 feet tall, and weigh as much as 5,300 pounds. This makes them the second largest living land animal. But what about the Carnotaurus? The Carnotaurus was noticeably longer at 30 feet long and 10 feet tall, but weighed less, at around only 4,000 pounds. This category will be given to the rhino since, in a battle of charging animals, weight matters more than length and height. What about strength? An adult male white rhino can pull roughly 2,400 pounds, though these numbers may be low since it can be difficult to measure their strength. When charging rhinos can exert over 8,000 pounds of force, which when concentrated on the tip of their horns is likely much greater than this. This strength has been seen flipping cars and tossing wild boars. So how does its prehistoric opponent stack up? Since it is extinct, it can be difficult to measure the bite force of Carnotaurus, but estimates put its bite force at roughly 7,000 newtons. We combine this with its skull size to give the likely low bite force estimate of 1,500-ish psi. The Carnotaurus could also charge, but its extinct nature makes estimating the force of this charge difficult. But since the Carnotaurus is slightly smaller and runs slightly faster than the rhino, my rough guess is 7,000 to 7,500 pounds of force when charging. This edge will be given to the rhino due to its ability to exert more force when charging. Speaking of speed, who is faster? The rhino has a top speed of 31 miles per hour. The Carnotaurus has a top speed of roughly 35 miles per hour. In addition, simply based on anatomy, the Carnotaurus was likely much more agile on its feet than the rhino. All this put together hives the Carno its first edge in a category, speed. So what about stealth? Rhinos have no natural predators as adults beyond very desperate lions and hyenas. As a result, they don't rely on stealth for survival or hunting since they are herbivores. The stealth level of the Carnotaurus is difficult to determine because, once again, it is extinct. However, it is speculated that it would wait for prey to get close before charging out of the bushes using its horns to knock over prey or its jaws to kill it. Given this information, the edge in stealth will go to the Carno. So what about weapons and defenses? The rhino has only one weapon, its massive horn that can grow over 40 inches long but is typically 35 inches long. This horn combined with the size and strength of the rhino is a powerful weapon indeed. Rhinos also have dense skin that can be up to 2 inches thick and stop smaller caliber bullets. So how does the Carno stack up? Scientists suspect that dinosaurs had thick scaly skin, often covered with feathers. It is suspected that this skin was tough in order to sustain attacks from other dinosaurs, but likely not tough enough to stop a rhino horn. Weapons are a more definitive category. The Carnotaurus's horns were 6 inches long. They had 2-inch long teeth designed for crushing bone and gripping prey. It also had claws on its feet, which were likely not intended for offensive use, but could accidentally serve that function. So who claims this category? The rhino's defenses are better suited to stopping the Carno's weaponry, but the Carnotaurus has a larger array of weapons. This edge will barely be given to the rhino. So who wins? The rhino with an edge in size, strength, and weapons and defenses. Or the Carnotaurus with an edge is speed and stealth. Let's find out. The arena for this fight is a grassland with some dense scrub patches where the Carno could hide. The rhino wanders about, fearing nothing due to its large size and power. The Carno waits nearby in a thicket, biding its time until the rhino gets close enough. The rhino gets close enough, and the Carno charges, its head lowered straight into the side of the rhino, gouging it with its horns and knocking it over. Now, on its side, the rhino is helpless, and the Carno pins it down with its foot, cutting it with its claws before biting the throat and crushing the windpipe and neck, killing the rhino. In this scenario, the Carno leveraged its stealth and speed to knock the rhino over, making the rhino's advantages obsolete. However, we don't know for sure how the Carno used its horns, so here is an alternative scenario starting at the charge. The Carno charges and clamps down on the rhino's dense neck with its powerful jaws. The rhino whips around, breaking free of the Carno, and tears some flesh off as it flies away. The furious rhino then charges, but the quicker, more agile, Carno avoids grabbing another chunk of flesh off the side as the rhino passes by. The rhino now stands still, circling its head to keep its horn between the Carno and the rest of its body. Eventually, the Carno sees an opening and charges, grabbing the side of the rhino's head. The rhino throws its head. The Carno doesn't come loose this time, its powerful jaws keeping it anchored, but it comes in range of the rhino's horn. The rhino seizes this opportunity to stab the Carnotaurus's underbelly, killing it instantly. In this second scenario, the rhino claims victory. In this battle for the title of King of Horns, the victor is the Carno only if it uses its horns. Otherwise, the rhino emerges on top. But let me know what you think in the comments below, and be sure to comment any showdowns you would like to see. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next Savage Showdown.